All right. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the advanced clarinet class here on YouTube Live. Just a reminder that if you guys are watching this live, please use that live chat on the side of the screen. This way, if you have any questions at all about your music or what we're working on today, then you can ask me and I can answer it in real time. You can ask me about the clarinet, about how to play high notes, or anything you may have wanted to ask your teacher normally. That's totally fine. So go ahead and put it there in the comments in the live chat. Or if you're watching it after, you can just put it in the regular comments and then we'll get back to you at some other time. Okay, so, and then another reminder, please check out the description that has the music for today. Again, we're going to be playing only out of the high book, the high clarinet book, the green book. So if you don't have that book, then you need the music that's below. Or if you want a copy of the low music, I encourage you to play the high clarinet part, but if you're going to be playing the low part, it's also below in the description. As well as the warm-up, the over the break warm-up, which we did a couple weeks ago, and I'm bringing it back for this video. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and take out that handout, that over the break handout, and we're going to do a couple drills off of this page just to try and make that transition a little bit smoother. I'm going to pick a number at random, so let's do number 4. We'll zoom in on number 4. Okay, so number 4, we're going to repeat it a bunch of times. It has a repeat sign, but it doesn't quite fit there on the screen. But we're just going between A and C natural, okay? So go ahead and get your fingers ready, especially in the right hand. You remember the trick for this one is just leave that right hand down and use your right pinky to play the C, or this finger here. But I think it's easier if you just use your right pinky. And the only thing you're worrying about then is covering these holes, and you're not worrying about your left pinky at all. All right? So let's try this one. A to C natural with a quarter rest in between. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest, rest, rest. Repeat. Rest, 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 rest. All right. How are you doing with that one? I kind of think that C is a little bit easier than B. So why don't we also do number 6 just below it? Okay, number 6, so we're going to go A to B natural. You can move your right pinky down to this low pinky key right here. Okay, use that B natural for this part of the exercise. If you use this one, that means your left hand is doing more work. So we want to make sure just to use the right pinky for this exercise. Ready? 1, 2, number 6, 3, play. Rest. 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 Great. Once you have that pretty comfortable, you can move on and do number 7. And number 7, we're going between all of those notes with just one beat of rest in between, okay? And the idea with this one is to speed it up a little bit, okay? So we're going to hold for 3, 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, okay? And only a couple notes over the break. Number 7, 1, 2, 1, 2, ready. Awesome. And since this one is over the break, for most of it, we're just transitioning between the first and second measures. But measures 2, 3, and 4, we're going to be completely over the break. So you have to alternate your pinkies. If you're using your right pinky to play B, then our left should be playing the C, and vice versa. If our left is playing B, then our right should be playing the C for that exercise. And the exercises below it. Okay, so exercise 8 and 9. Okay, those two we want to make sure to alternate. Okay, so if you print this one out, you can actually go ahead and just write the letter R and L, R for right and L for left, over the note that you want to play with that pinky. So if you think that left B is more comfortable, go ahead and write L over the B, and then R over the C. And if you think right B is more comfortable, you can write the R over that B, and then the L over the C. Okay, whatever's more comfortable. Okay, let's try 8 2 times, and then we'll move on to number 9, which is the trickiest one. And then I want to hear from you guys how you're doing with over the break. Okay, it's a lot of holes to cover and a tricky transition. So I want to make sure that you guys are working on this particularly. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. Good. So we did it twice with repeats, so 4 times in total. And I sped it up just a little bit. If you go back and listen to it after this is totally recorded, you can go back and hear that I sped it up on purpose. When you're getting comfortable with this, you can go ahead and speed up the tempo and try to see where that breaking point is. What's the fastest you're able to do that and not make any mistakes and not make any squeak sounds. You want to find out what that breaking point is and then try and work past it and get that transition as smooth as possible. Okay, and then finally number 9, which is all 3 notes, A, B, C, over the break, but we're not resting in between, okay? So I can zoom in on this a little bit further. So you can see number 9 with repeats. Here we go. No rests in between, so be really precise with changing over the break. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. How did you do with that one? You can let me know in the comments or in the live chat, whatever works best for you guys. Go ahead and let me know how the over the break is going. And then we're going to move on to our book music. Here we are on page 27. We've been doing a lot of scales, and we got all of those scales pretty much memorized. So I'm going to go over with you a couple scales before we play, just kind of a warm-up thing. We'll do the G scale and the D scale, okay? So the concert F, G scale, and then the concert C, D scale for us. Ready? 1 sharp on the G scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, we're actually going to do both octaves, so let's go up and do the second octave, which is starting on middle G up to high G over the break. 1, 2, ready, and. down both octaves. Ready, go. That's a really good one to practice because it spans an awesome range on the clarinet from all the way down low, near to the bottom of the instrument's range, up to about high middle range. Okay. Now let's do our D scale, which is 2 sharps, and then we'll go on to this page 27. 2 sharps, 1 octave over the break. Here we go. Starting on D. 1, 2, ready, play. Very nice. So today I wanted to work on the notes that we see commonly here on page 27, 16th notes. You may, if you're in the honors orchestra, you may have already explored 16th notes, but some of us are seeing it for the first time. So I'd like to break it down nice and simple for you. The 8th notes that we play are half of a quarter note, so we like to count them 1 and. So we do a number followed by the and. Okay, never opposite. It's always 1 and, 2 and, 3 and, 4 and always comes second. For 16th notes, we're splitting each of those two 8th notes in half. So we have 1 8th note, the number, and the and are being split into 2. So one of the 16th notes is going to be the number, and another of the 16th notes is going to be the and. And the other 2 that are left over, because we're splitting 2 in half, so we get 4, the other 2 that are left over, we need to call them differently. So the way we refer to 16th notes is 1 E and So we go 1, the letter E, the and from the 8th note, and then So 1 E and And all of those 4 notes happen within 1 beat. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 and 4. Does that make sense? The 16th notes are really fast because we've broken down that singular beat into 4 small parts. So they're going to be pretty fast. And on wind instruments, so clarinet, any of the instruments that you play by blowing air, trumpet, saxophone, we need to show that separation by tonguing. And tonguing 16th notes can get a little complicated because they're so fast. So if you're working on your tonguing, making it sound really nice and clean, start with the 8th notes, ta, 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 because you're going to get tongue-tied if you try and go faster right away. Let's try this 16th note dance. I'll do it super slow so we can get a handle on the 16th notes and tonguing those 16th notes. So ta 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 3 E and 4 and 1, 2, ready, go. Repeat. Rest. So those quarter notes are so super slow in order to make the 16th notes tonguing pretty accurate. We can speed this one up a little bit and get our tongue more agile. So we're going to speed it up just a little bit. So we were playing da 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 da, a little bit faster. Ba 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 ba. 1 and 2 and 3 and a go and. Okay, we won't repeat. We can speed it up a little bit more. 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3. Ready, play. Cool, and just for fun, let's do it at a regular tempo. Let's see how fast we can play these at a regular tempo. So here is where I would count off if we just had quarter notes and eighth notes. See where the 16th note lands. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and a. So they're going to be really fast. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ready and a go. Awesome. Let me know how you did with that in the comment section or in the live chat. I'd like to hear if that's too fast or just right. 16th note tonguing gets a little complicated, but the more you do it, the better you will get at it. So we can skip the 16th note run because it's the same thing. I got a thumbs up from someone, so good. Keep working on them. Make them as fast as you can. Let's try Dinah, Won't You Blow Your Horn, because I'm sure you know this song, but in the book we've modified the rhythm a little bit to incorporate some 16th notes. And if you're playing out of the low clarinet book, it's going to be the same as what's up here on the page. So we're playing low down to low G. All right. 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 and 2. 1 E and a 2 E and a 1, 2. Ready, play. Rest. If any part of that is going to trip you up, it's probably going to be the second to last measure. So line 2, measure 3. G, 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 F, F, D, D, C. That part right there, the F to the D. We're so worried about tonguing all those 16th notes that F to D, which is something really easy, may become a little more difficult. So try that one and send us some recordings of you guys playing it. Some other songs too with 16th notes in it, like on the next page, Tira Lira Lou. This one, we got to make sure we check our key signatures. The last couple songs we just played were in the key of C, so no sharps, no flats. This one, we have B flat and E flat. So let me go over those two notes with you guys. B flat, we know, register key in A key. E flat, which you may or may not remember, is the same as D sharp. So we'll start as on D and press the side key right there on the bottom with the side of our finger. So let's do B flat really quickly. Okay, and now E flat, which is D sharp, same note. Ready? Play. Cool. So as long as you can play those two notes, we will go ahead with this one. Tira, lira, lu, with B flat and E flat, and using those 16th notes. Ta 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 ta. Ba 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 bum bum. Do you guys see the fifth note of the entire song? It's the 4 16th notes, and then the very next grouping of notes. Actually, I can highlight it. This right here. Yeah, it's not letting me highlight that. Okay. These notes that I just highlighted in yellow. They kind of look a little strange with that beaming over top. All it is they want you to play an eighth note and two 16th notes. So we're going to go number and so one and two and one and two and that's all that is. It may look a little complicated, but it's just an eighth note followed by two 16th notes. So one and two and one and two and okay. If it was reversed and we had the 16th notes first and then the eighth note second, it would be one E and two E and three E and four E and. Okay. So that's all that is. Let's try Tira Lira Lou and then American Patrol. Here we go. One E and a two and a one and go. Cool. How did you do with that one? It's a different key than we're used to playing in, at two flats, but B flat and E flat aren't terribly difficult, so those are a good one to practice to get use out of those flat notes, which we don't see a lot, especially if you're in the honors orchestra. You're used to seeing sharps, so good idea to practice some stuff that has flats in it too. Same as American Patrol. This one flat, B flat, so we can go back to using regular E, pinch E, and I believe we also have a high E natural over the break too. Let me just double check. Actually, it skips it and we just do the F. So we have high F, no E over the break, just the E down below in the first measure of line 1 and line 3. All right. So for this one and 2 E and 1 and 2 E and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 2 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. The hardest part about this one, I believe, is going to be those dotted quarter notes. So it's really important, you guys, to subdivide those into the eighth notes. If you remember from an older lesson where we talked about how many eighth notes are contained within the dotted quarter note, 1 and 2, there's 3 eighth notes in there. 1 and 2 and is the fourth one of that measure. So always be subdividing when you're playing stuff that has long notes, short notes, anything. It's a really good habit to form. Okay, so I'll count you off. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and ready and go. E and. Cool. You heard my reed squeak there. It shifted a little bit under the ligature. Sometimes that happens. Great. How did you do on American Patrol? Let me know in the comments. That one's a classic. I'm sure you guys have heard that at one point or another. Okay, and then the last thing here is the oats and beans, which is pretty simple. Just watch your key signature. B flat, E flat, and A flat. If you remember A flat and G sharp, use that side key there. And then check out the pages, the page below. I really wanted to get to the theme from Concerto in A minor, so I want to go over this one real quick because I know we're almost out of time here. Well, actually, we're over time. But the Concerto explores a pretty big range. And we have combinations, different combinations of the eighth 8th note, and 16th notes. So give this one a try. I'm going to play through it once for you guys so you can practice along with me. But send us your recordings, homework at theorchestraplays.com. We'd love to hear you guys playing this one in particular because it's a really fun one. And it starts on the and of 4, so you have to count all the way to 4 and come in on 4 and. All right, here we go. I'll play this one and then we'll be done for today. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. All right, so keep working on the concerto, the theme from the concerto in A minor by Vivaldi. Send us your videos. It's a really cool piece. And if there aren't any questions, I'll see you guys next time. Check out some videos later this week. So tomorrow we have some new videos to check out, and they're for every instrument. All right?